I'm going to be ranking every single Toon for solos. Keep in mind this is going to be like long solos, so floor 40 plus solos, you know, when you're actually trying to go far in solos. That's what I mean by a good solo Toon. What makes a good solo Toon is generally high survivability, but also high extraction speed. It generally has to be a balance of the two, so let's get to ranking. Astro, I am going to put him in not built for solos. Although he's not that bad with his 5-star stealth, his extraction's just below average. His passive's a little bit useful, but it's just still not amazing. I don't really see why you'd use Astro, especially since he has 2 hearts. It makes it so you can't hold as many heals, and I just think that makes him not an amazing solo Toon at all, so I'm throwing him in not built for solos. See, Bassie's a very weird one where she should be bad for solos, but she does actually kind of have the utility to be good in solos. I'll put her in has their niche because she's not terrible in solos, if I'm being honest. 4 inventory slots is still very helpful, and then the 2, I mean, she does have 2 hearts, but that is kind of countered by the fact that she has an extra inventory slot, and she can drop items, so she can utilize items on the floor while also still having heals on her floor. So I feel like she's actually still a very good solo Toon in that case. You just have to deal with her really below average extraction, but her survivability should be amazing, especially if you use Dogbone and Feather Duster on her, if you're really willing to commit to survivability that much. Bobbette, I'll just be putting in the good tier. I think she's just kind of like above average. I don't think she's an amazing solo Toon simply because she has 2 hearts. Having 2 hearts, it just kind of is a big letdown in solos, and unlike Bassie, she doesn't have a way to deal with this, but she does have way better extraction stats, and on top of that, she has her ability to help with her survivability. So I think that she is actually a good solo Toon, nothing more than that. I don't think she's great past that, simply because of the lack of inventory slots to hold heals. You can only hold at most 3 heals, and you don't get value out of medkits, so it's just not that useful to run Bobbette in solos. I don't think she's amazing. See, Blot is a really weird case where, like, he could be good in solos, but it's just his extraction speed. He has an amazing ability, but that extraction's just not built for solos, dude. It's not, and the ability's not enough to justify his extraction speed at all, so I have to put him in not built for solos. Foxton will go in average. He just has the most average stats in the game that you can possibly have. Slightly higher extraction because of his passive, but it's nothing impactful. I would just put him in average. Brightney, I'm going to put in the amazing tier. I feel like she is actually a really good solo Toon. A lot of people have said Brightney's an amazing solo Toon for a really long time, and I have to agree. She is just genuinely a good solo Toon. High extraction speed, high stamina, low stealth does not matter that much in solos, and also she has an amazing ability to scan for Twisteds on the floor, which I think would be amazing if you pair that ability with like Mag Train Whistle as your trinkets. I think she could be an amazing solo Toon. I'm sure you could go far with her. Brusha, I just don't think she's amazing for this. Like, Brusha's just not a good solo Toon. Her ability is completely useless. Her stats are just kind of eh. Like, they're not bad for solos. Honestly, you'll see me talk about these exact stats later. But it's just the ability is completely pointless. 2-star stealth is a little bit annoying in solos. So, I don't know. I would just, like, obviously stealth doesn't matter that much, but I just put her in, like, it's hard to say here. I'd say she's just not built for solos. Her ability's all about helping other Toons, so it's not helping anyone. Cole, I'm just gonna put in not built for solos as well. Those extraction stats are not helping anyone. She's just not. I just would never solo as Cole. There's no point in soloing as Cole. The movement speed is nice, I guess. Her ability's okay at best, I guess. I just would never solo as Cole. Coco is a weird case. I feel like she's actually not bad for solos. I mean, Honeybee has shown us this. If you don't know Honeybee, that's a competitive solo player, and I believe they got to like 120 with Coco. So I mean, just thinking realistically, she has good movement speed, and on top of that, like, she can place bonbons by a machine, and then, like, if it's in a bad spot, she can eat all the bonbons at once and then just do the machine really fast with a large extraction boost. She has constant survivability items because of her bonbons. I think she is a good solo Toon. Maybe not amazing, but she is certainly good. Connie is kind of a weird one in this case, where, like, it's hard to say she's a good solo Toon. I'll admit it's nice that she, like, has her ability and stuff, but the movement speed's still abysmal, and, like, in solos you can just get pinched and chased all the time. So there's a very good chance that at some point you'll get caught in a bad place without your ability and you just won't be able to save yourself. Her extraction's also not that great considering how much movement speed you have to sacrifice to have it, so I'd say has her niche. She's not amazing, but not like terrible, you know, like you can manage a solo as Connie and she can work pretty well. You know, I'm gonna rework this real quick. Hold on. Okay, I just changed that category to can work, but why? I just feel like this is a more fitting tier to put things in. And the reason I'm keeping awful for solos is because Cosmo exists. His ability does not help him at all. Terrible skill check. Like, 4-star stealth doesn't help you that much. 4-star stams, whatever. Why would you ever solo as Cosmo? Let's be honest. He is so bad. He has absolutely nothing to help him in solos. His extraction's terrible. Just don't solo as Cosmo. Why would you do that? Eclipse? See, I haven't tested Eclipse myself in solos, but I can just think that she would be an amazing solo Toon. If you have 4-star movement speed, you're gonna be able to get away from most things, especially if you run Train Whistle. And in Blackouts, you're gonna be super fast. So I feel like she would be an amazing solo Toon. Not like crazy, but she could be good. I feel like people need to solo with this Toon more. I haven't seen enough people do solos with Eclipse. The only annoying thing is that her extraction's just like average, but I think that it's worth it for the survivability she gives. Egson is actually like an underrated solo Toon. I don't think he's crazy, obviously, but the little whack to machines is kind of nice. It's just a small boost, and I don't know. I'd still put him in average. You're gonna see this as a really common theme with all the flat 3 stars, but like he's just average. Like, he's not bad for solos, I guess. Finn, I will actually be putting in the good tier. I think he is good for solos. I wouldn't say like better than Coco, but he's not bad. Like, he has the movement speed to get around. If you just pop a machine, you can run off. I don't know. I feel like he has the potential to be utilized in solos. I think he's good. Not amazing, just good. Above average extraction speed. Stamina doesn't matter with dial buff. He's okay. Flutter, I would just say not built for solos. I don't understand why you'd solo as Flutter. She does have the survivability with her high stam, high movement, and her dash, but even then, it's just not worth the extraction speed in my opinion. You can play higher survivability Toons, so she's just not built for solos. On the other hand, we have Flight, who does have the extraction speed, the movement speed, and an ability. I think he's an amazing solo Toon. I honestly think he is a really underrated solo Toon. I don't see enough people talk about how good Flight is. He is such just an all-rounder. He does everything. He can distract, he can extract. He's a good solo Toon. This is an amazing solo Toon. People need to utilize him more. Gigi is a good solo Toon. I feel like she could go in amazing just because you can gamble your own heals. If you're out of heals, you can just go in an AFK spot and keep gambling until you get your heals. So I think she's an amazing solo Toon. Or you can just keep gambling for like a Valve or something to get a machine in a bad spot. With some patience, she is a very good solo Toon, especially ever since Dial Buff got added. And Train Whistle, you could use like Mag Train Whistle on her, she'd be really good. I think she's an amazing solo Toon. Ginger is just like, I don't know why you'd play her. She has average extraction stats, but her movement is just like bad. Higher stealth, redundant ability. Like, I feel like she's kind of just like a can work, but why type of thing. You know, I should move Brusha as well, because she can also work in solos. It just, once again, can work, but like, why would you do that? What is the point? You know, so I think that's why we'll put Ginger. She has the stats to maybe be a decent solo Toon, but the movement speed's quite a bummer. So I don't know. She's just like, I don't know. I'd say I put her not built for solos at the very top. Glisten, I mean, he has high extraction speed and 3 hearts, so I kind of want to put him in average, but also like his ability's totally redundant in solos. And that's just really bad. So I think I'll put him at the very top of can work, but why? Because, yeah, he can work. He has good extraction. It's just like, why even solo? You know, your ability's useless. Your skill check's terrible. I don't know. I don't see why you would solo as Glisten if you could just solo as a better Toon. Goob, I feel like, is another one of those, like, can work, but why? Like, he has the movement. And his extraction's not terrible. But again, a redundant ability, and I just don't see the utility in playing Goob in a solo. I feel like he's not terrible in solos, but probably not my first pick. I put him in the very bottom of can work, but why? It's just like, yeah, he can work. I just don't see why you would use him. Like, any Toon with high mobility can work, I guess, but the extraction speed's terrible. I don't know. Gordy is a very controversial one. I would argue he's not that good in solos. His ability's useless. His passive's nice, but his active's totally just useless. good extraction speed, good mobility. 1-star Sam and 1-star Stealth are probably the best stats to have 1-star if you're trying to be a good solo toon. It's just the fact that he's a main that makes him a lot harder to utilize. I'm still gonna put him at the very top of good because I think he's still an amazing solo toon for that reason, but not amazing. Like, it's just the limit on heals that makes him worse. If you go through a heal drought, you're gonna be struggling because you're gonna get hit at some point, or you're gonna have a hard floor that you have to deal with. And you know, 170 stam's still not that much, like all things considered. So I'd say Gordy is just a good solo toon. He's not incredible, but he's good. Good for like a quick little solo to get some Ichor probably, but anything past like 40, he's kind of just a pain to work with. See, now we face my ultimate bias of Louis. I'm gonna put him in the best tier, okay? You're just gonna have to hear me out. Bleem is putting Louis in another high spot in the tier list, I know. But he is genuinely just a really, really good solo toon. So on 2 hearts, he has 30 run speed, which is better than other 4-star movement speeds who only have 27.5. So he has 5-star run speed when he's on 2 hearts, and that's not considering him on 1 heart when he has 35 run speed. So he is a really good survivalist in this case. Of course, you have to be hit, but if you're hit, you're running from things anyways. So it gives you the run speed to run away from whatever just hit you, which I think is incredibly helpful. His extraction is just like, you know, okay. It's the same level as Brusha where like his stat spread's not amazing, but it still definitely works with his ability in this case, and I think he is very good for solos. I've soloed to floor 96 as Louis, and I think he is incredibly good. So that's just my opinion. I know there's a lot of people who say he's not that great for solos, but I think he is genuinely one of the best solo toons you can pick from. On the opposite end of the spectrum, one of the worst solo toons you can pick from, I would just put him in Can Work But Why. The movement speed's nice, but your active ability is pretty much useless. I mean, you could use it to like get twisted somewhere else, but you might just get caught in the process. So I don't see the utility in using Pebble in a solo, but other than his above average movement speed. His extraction's still really bad though, so I don't know. I'll put him in Can Work But Why. He's just one of those things where like I don't see why you would play him in a solo, but he'll work. Poppy is just another average solo toon. She has a decent passive, I guess, for when you get hit you can run away, just like I said with Louis, but her stats are just whatever, so she's a very average toon. Razzle and Dazzle, I honestly don't understand why you would solo as him. I'm gonna say this is another thing of just Can Work But Why. I don't know why you would use him in a solo. Like, he's every other floor your extraction is gonna be terrible, but your survivability is gonna be good. But also every other floor your extraction is gonna be good, but your survivability is going to be absolutely terrible. He's another one of those things where just like he can work, but why? Just why would you play him here? I don't know. This is a very weird toon when it comes to solos, and I don't see why you would play him. Rebecca is one of those toons where I feel like they're underutilized for solos. I'm gonna put her in amazing. I think that she is a very good solo toon just because of that ability. Being completely immune to all status effects makes like half the mains just useless. Astro just turns into a long attention twisted that's not really that hard to deal with. V doesn't even slow you, so it's like having Train Whistle. Shelly doesn't impact your floors at all. It's just having Toodles on your floor basically. I think Rebecca is an incredibly good soloist. Maybe her stats are just like a little underwhelming for solos, but it's just typical stats, so it's not like it's the worst thing ever. I feel like if you put like Mag Participation Award on her, or like Mag Party Popper even, you'd be really well off in solos. So this is a very good solo toon. I wish people utilized her more. Roger's just like one of those toons that are just like, I don't know why you would play him. He's good for soloing for research, but trying to go far as a 2-star movement speed with no survivability things to help you is just like, I don't see it. I don't see the vision. I would put him in Not Built for solos. He is meant to be used in team play to farm research, and that's about it. I wouldn't play him in solos. Rudy is just another typical average solo toon. This is becoming a pattern you're noticing, but he's just average. He's a very average solo toon. He has a good dash to help him, I guess. I mean, maybe I could be generous and bump him up to good. Sure, I'll put him in good. He has the dash, that's helpful, and his extraction stats aren't terrible like Flutter's, so not bad, I guess. Just like, he's good. I'll put him at the very bottom of good. Scraps is one of those solo tunes where, like, I don't know, she got a rework to her ability, so it's no longer redundant in solos, but still, her extraction's below average, her mobility's just kind of mid. I'd put her at the very bottom of can work, but why? Like, you can probably get her to work in solos if you just, like, use your ability to get away and stuff. Like, I don't know, it's just like, I don't know. I think she's very just when it comes to solos. I don't know why you would utilize her. Shelly's a very weird one. I feel like she is just like, probably, I'd put her around average. I don't know, maybe can work, but why actually? I don't know. Cause yeah, her stats are good and her passive's good, but her active's useless and she only has 2 hearts, which I know I keep bringing this up, but it is actually a big detriment for trying to go far in solos. If you are going to solo as Shelly, my advice to you, just solo as Finn. You have 3 hearts, and you still get a movement speed boost for finishing machines. You have 1 less skill check star. It's not that big of a difference. So just use Finn. That's my advice for anyone who's trying to solo as Shelly. Just use Finn. Shrimpo, I don't even have to say anything. Sylvester, I would just say, like, he's just like, I don't know, I think he's just not built for solos. Yeah, he can work because of that extraction speed, I guess, but that mobility is awful. 1-star movement, 1-star stam. If you don't have dial buff, you're cooked, and even then, it's so hard to survive as him. I mean, I know that might be just a skill issue. I've never done a Sylvester solo personally, because I don't know why I would want to do that, but I'll put him in can work, but why? Because he can work in solos, I guess. He can work. Like, it's just like, I never would. Sprout is the worst solo tune in the game besides Shrimpo. His abilities are totally useless. Stats are just awful. 2 hearts. Don't solo as Sprout. Why would you ever do that to yourself? He's awful for solos. Tegan is a very good solo tune. I feel like she should be utilized more. I feel like I'll actually move Flight to the best and then put Tegan at the top of amazing. I think he is just like one of the best solo tunes, so I'll put Flight there. But Tegan is an amazing solo. She's just so good in solos. Infinite heals is an amazing thing, I'll say. Of course, like, if you're caught in an unsurvivable situation, then yeah, but since you can heal yourself, you can probably just run full-on escape items and, like, you could run, like, 2 escape items and, like, a med kit, and you'll be totally fine, because if you just get hit for a stupid reason, you could just quickly heal yourself up. It's no problem. Her stats are just kind of whatever for solos. 2-star stealth, 4-star stamina. I think she is, like, one of the solo tunes. Like, she is made to be a solo tune. I just think that her mobility is holding her back a little. She doesn't have 4-star movement speed. You could run Mag Train Whistle on her and she'll be just fine, I'm sure, but not the best, but she's an amazing solo tune. Tisha is one of those ones where, like, she could have been what Flight is, but it's just that her ability is redundant. It doesn't do anything. Skill check is probably a worse stat to have higher than extraction speed, so I don't know. I feel like she's just around there with Flight. I'd put her in good still, though. She's still a good solo tune, but her ability is just useless, which is kind of annoying. Probably below Rudy. I don't know. It's hard to say that she'd actually be an amazing solo tune. I just don't think she's that good. I don't see the reason in playing Tisha if you could just play Flight. Toodles is just like, I don't know, like average. I don't know, high stealth, but lower extraction speed is whatever. Ability helps a little bit. I don't know, just average solo tune. We have V, which V is just like, I've seen a lot of people say that V is really good for solos. I personally don't agree. I will say the one good thing about her is that both of her abilities are useful in solos, which is really nice. I think that she works in solos to an extent, but that 2-star movement speed is going to absolutely just be such a detriment later on. I would say just throw her in like good at the very least. She's not like amazing, but she'll work for solos for what it's worth, I guess. I don't know. I don't know why you would play V. I mean, the abilities are helpful. Like, you know where machine spawns are at all times. You see all the twisteds every now and then. Pretty good. I don't know. It's just, I just put her in good. And then finally we have Yada, which of course, this surprises literally nobody. She's the best solo tune in the game. I'm not even gonna deny that. She has amazing extraction speed, and with dial buff, she has way more stamina. She can run mag train whistle. She can outrun anything. She's just amazing. She's an amazing solo Toon, and that's why people get so far with her. I will say, I will say, as of me recording this video, that the solo world record is currently with Flight at 233. But that's just as of recording this. But I will say Flight is still it is an incredible solo Toon, and maybe even above Louis if I'm being honest. But my bias won't let me place him below because I've never soloed with Flight before. So take that with a grain of salt. But just logically, I think that this is a B tier list. So Yada's the best solo Toon, and then I'd say Louis is a close second, same with Flight being third, and then that's everything else. Tell me what you agree with or disagree with in the comment section. I'd like to hear your thoughts, but that's the end of this video. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.